that he's...
Clearing the air, those frustrating flight delays, the government's new plan to get you from here to there on time. But how safe? At the pump, prices higher and higher. America's gas crisis. What will it cost you? Security nightmare. Why the Secret Service wants President Clinton to cancel a major trip overseas. And in depth, your money. The fight over higher wages for millions, plus sticker shock. The truth about your restaurant bill, what the food really cost.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. If you've been on a plane recently, you know the good news for the airlines is that they're busier than ever. The bad news for you and also for the airlines, all of this increased volume has added to delays, cancellations, misconnections, and general turmoil. Well, tonight, the President of the United States, the airlines, and the FAA have a new plan just in time for the spring and summer. Here's NBC's Robert Hager.
The new government program's aimed at cutting down exasperating delays, like the one frequent flyer Mark Dubin encounters trying to get to Albuquerque.
My flight's been delayed.
Delayed and then canceled.
What time was it canceled?
And the next flight's still hours away.
It's going through Dallas, but I have no idea what time I'll arrive.
To avoid scenes like this, especially now with heavy summer travel coming on and thunderstorm season as well, the new government program will try to reduce the record 1,000 flights a day delayed last summer.
It's not good for travelers, it's not good for the airline industry, and it's not good for the overall economy.
Starting Sunday, the Federal Aviation Administration will begin using a new $500,000 thunderstorm forecasting system. We'll pre-plan a series of routes to get planes around storms. We'll open previously closed military airspace off the East Coast to get around storms, and open some additional air lanes at lower altitude. Whether it'll be enough to ease delays this summer is unclear, but in a few years it's going to get even more congested. This week, the FAA forecasts that in barely more than a decade, travelers will board aircraft in this country more than 1 billion times a year. A 50% growth in air travel, requiring another 5,000 planes. That means that planes will likely have to depend less on radar and more on satellites for precise separation in crowded skies. And it'll take more airports, too, even as neighborhoods from Boston to Los Angeles gear up to fight expansion. Just this week, California voters dealt a blow to hopes of converting the abandoned Marine Air Base at El Toro into a commercial airport. Opponents showing 35-year-old video of a crash near the base and issuing emotional appeals.
We're talking about plopping this airport right in the middle of neighborhoods, and that's the wrong thing to do.
But everyone agrees something has to give. More ways found to meet travel demands of the future. As it is, even as passenger Mark Dubin finally reaches Albuquerque hours late, there's still no guarantee for him or any other flyer that the next flight will be any better. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
These new rules may make getting to your destination less painful, but paying for it will be tougher to take. Continental Airlines today raised its fares by as much as $40 per round trip, saying the rising cost of fuel is the reason. No word yet on whether the other airlines will match that increase. At the same time, for those who are more grounded in their travels, the high cost of driving is about to get even higher. Energy Secretary Bill Richardson tried to do something about that today, high gas prices. But in fact, there's not much hope. Here's NBC's Kelly O'Donnell.
Every day, a killer commute, 75 miles each way. That distance tough enough for Los Angeles construction consultant Malua Young. But tack on surging gas prices, and he's had it.
Yeah, it's painful in my shallow pockets. It's causing a big dent.
He fills up 3 times a week. Last year, a full tank cost him $25. Now he pays 50% more.
It's $37 it cost me to fill up this morning.
Across the country, drivers pump an average 600 gallons a year. A big jump. 100 gallons more than a decade ago. All that driving is much more expensive. Prices up 10% since January and climbing. What's driving the increase? Tight control from OPEC, the countries producing the raw materials that make gasoline. The result? Crude oil prices triple, pushing gasoline up too. Today, Energy Secretary Bill Richardson calling on OPEC to increase production. The Department of Energy's latest projection, summer gas prices will hit an average $1.56 a gallon, then likely bump up to $1.80 due to what energy officials call a precariously low supply.
For the average driver, he's going to pay something like $150 more per year for gasoline than he paid before.
Prices high enough to make some change daily routines. Atlanta stay-at-home mom Sandy Blastic's ritual, driving around 2-year-old son Justin to help him nod off. Now, that's too expensive.
I thought, well, I'm wasting a lot of gas doing this. I just need to go home and put him in the stroller or find another method.
In North Carolina, a rash of gas stealing, filling up then driving off without paying, a practice they call pump and peel.
Every other day we have at least one for about $15. Drives off.
Experts say with 200 million cars on the road, filling up won't feel good again for at least several more months. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, New York.
On Wall Street today, a late retreat for the blue chips. After being up most of the day, the Dow finished down almost 82 points. NASDAQ managed to hang on to a tiny gain, less than 2 points, but it was enough for another record close for NASDAQ. For the week, the Dow lost more than 438 points, more than 4% of its value. NASDAQ was up for the week almost 134 points, almost 3%. Up next, Your Money, NBC News in Depth tonight. The surprising truth about what a meal in a restaurant really costs.
The general rule of thumb on restaurant pricing is that you would hope to make a 300% markup on any and all of the dishes on your menu.
The real cost of dining out, that's tonight's In Depth. And in the line of fire, the president's planned trip to Pakistan. Will he be safe? Why the Secret Service has great fears.
Around here, it's not every day we all get together.
Oh, we're making them dinner. Come on, you guys. Smaller pieces, please.
But when we do, it's great that the folks at Kraft make Italian.
I love this stuff.
Because it's the one thing we agree on. That way, we can talk about what's on our minds instead of what's on our plates.
Whose idea was this?
Well, Kale has a boyfriend.
I guess they just know what we like.
Oh, what?
He's a senior. He's a senior.
Around here, the dressing is Kraft.
Man, what rhymes with elation?
Creation. Temptation.
That's cool.
Dividend reinvestment participation. Market capitalization. European market fluctuation. Industry globalization. Assets allocation. What?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm, we created a smarter kind of investor.
Too many syllables?
What's so great about nasal crom? Look at me. I'm not sneezing, but I'm not drowsy. I'm not stuffy, but I'm not jittery. I've never been not miserable in allergy season before. Nasal crom's incredible.
These may cause drowsiness. These may cause drug interactions. Nasal crom won't.
It's the only allergy medicine that goes right to the source and flat out prevents allergy symptoms. Nasal crom. The best way to stop suffering is never to start.
Nice.
If you've got a business to run, Staples has everything you need at guaranteed low prices.
Uh-huh. We got to get that contract signed.
Sir, did you order the Kung Pao chicken?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night. Hey, lady, fax this, would you?
Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
New tonight at 6. This may look like a silly contest. We'll tell you what the governor's race around a grocery store has to do with stopping hunger in Oregon. Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first. Matt Zaffino, only on Northwest News Channel
8. NBC News in Depth tonight, Your Money. 2 pocketbook issues that affect millions of Americans. First, raising the minimum wage. It's always a hot political button, but in this election year, even more so. Why are Congress and the president so at odds? We begin tonight's in-depth reporting with NBC's Lisa Myers.
For Dwayne Berry and 10 million other low-wage workers, finally hope for a pay raise they say is long overdue. Berry, who works for a transportation company, lives with his retired father to save money and pays child support for his daughter.
I don't think $5.15 is fair to anyone that, you know, is trying to work and I mean, you can't buy a house, you can't buy a car, you can't get an apartment.
Despite a booming economy, the minimum wage of $5.15 an hour hasn't gone up in 3 years. The House bill passed last night would boost it $1 to $6.15 an hour over 2 years. The Senate favors a slower phase-in. Critics complain even that isn't enough. To move a family of 4 out of poverty, experts say a father or mother working full-time would need to earn $8.19 an hour.
The intent of the minimum wage law was to have a wage in which people could really live a life out of poverty.
But small businesses warn that raising the minimum wage hurts everyone. Ken Miller, who owns a small grocery store, says he doesn't mind the change, but insists he'll have to pass on higher costs by raising prices.
Box of Raisin Bran. How much more will it cost?
Box of Raisin Bran now is $2.89. It could go up 10 to 20 cents.
Will the pay raise become law? Republicans want billions of dollars in business tax cuts to go with it. The president threatens a veto. A moderate Republican predicts a compromise.
It's tough, I think, to be on the wrong side of an issue that's almost 80% that the American public thinks ought to happen.
Especially tough in an election year, when tens of millions of low-income Americans have yet to benefit from a sizzling economy, and politicians are jockeying for their votes. Lisa Myers, NBC News, the Capitol.
When times are this good, as they are for so many Americans, more and more people are eating out every day. It's estimated there are more than 830,000 restaurants in the United States. This year, it is expected that food and beverage purchases at restaurants will exceed $130 billion. But what's the real cost of the meal on your plate? Tonight, in conjunction with the Wall Street Journal, the truth about dinner out. NBC's Jim Abla continues our reporting in depth.
8 o'clock on a busy night at Tarantino's in Chicago.
What do we have, the rigatoni Roma?
Yeah. A good night. 112 customers, dropping an average $31 a person. If you think you're paying more, you are. Across the country, menu prices rising faster than the inflation rate 4 years in a row.
I think that that's a pretty fair price for a night's entertainment, because basically restaurants are entertainment for people.
But despite the price hikes, the National Restaurant Association says half of America dines out once a day. Most know there's a markup, but few realize the industry standard is 300%. And even higher on some surprising items. 3 dishes: salmon, T-bone, pasta. Which is most profitable? Believe it or not, it's not the steak. This 2-pound piece of prime beef cost the restaurant $17. The salad and potato come with it for a total cost of $20. Menu price $37.75, an 89% markup. But pasta at the same restaurant, mostaccioli with sautéed marinara, which costs less than $5 to make, brings $14 at the table. Markup 180%. And the winner, salmon, 8 ounces, cost the restaurant $4.40. And with the vegetables, $7 wholesale. Menu price $21. Markup 200%.
We don't make a whole lot of money on the T-bone steak or any of our beef.
In fact, the highest markups are on side dishes and salads, pennies to make dollars on the menu. Brian Buckley of Peter Cump's New York Cooking School says restaurants actually don't want you to order the most expensive item on the menu.
Something in the middle range, perhaps chicken or an inexpensive fish, would actually generate more profit than the steak or the dish with truffles.
Tracking prices, critical business for restaurants. Framingham, Massachusetts. The Real Tennessee Barbecue, real fast, uses a computer that breaks down the cost of a dish down to a teaspoon of salt.
Well, we can pinpoint exactly where, literally, to every penny of the food cost goes to.
Critical because after paying for rent, labor, utilities, advertising, and taxes, the industry says that 300% markup reduced to an average 4% profit. Much of that coming from that very popular, very profitable 8-ounce piece of fish. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
We'll have more news when I come back. And home of the brave, her sweetheart was killed in action in World War II. 56 years later, a touching reunion with the last man to see him alive.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value. Health is just around the corner.
In this place, I see a lot of gas. I also see a lot of folks reaching for the wrong medicine. But Gas-X has the most powerful medicine to relieve gas fast. Not that I've seen works faster. Gas-X beats the bloat fast.
Yoo-hoo! Does your daily shower cleaner disinfect? Ooh, guess that's a no. Get Lysol Daily Shower Cleaner, the only one that disinfects. Lysol Daily Shower Cleaner helps protect. You have our word on it.
Ask your doctor about Nasonex, prescription nasal allergy spray taken once a day for relief from nasal allergy worries, indoors and out, day or night. Approved for children 3 years and up. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing. Nasonex, because the less to worry about, the better.
In the spring of each year, I like to put down turf builder with halts. Put a preventative barrier down on the lawn to take care of the crabgrass. It never gets a chance to get started. Scott's works better than anything else there's out there. There is no other brand, in my opinion. Put down turf builder with halts. See any crabgrass here?
If it isn't purple, it isn't Prilosec. Isn't it Prilosec time for you? Ask your doctor about the purple pill they call Prilosec.
How much power do you really need? The Sierra Extended Cab has the most powerful standard engine of any truck in its class. Not because you need it now, but because one day you will. And being prepared for that day is what having a professional-grade truck is all about. The GMC Sierra, above and beyond.
Sunday, it's Bush versus Gore in November, but Pat Buchanan unveils his strategy to take them on. Plus, Carmel and Madeline face off. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
It's like today, only later. Later today, weekdays on NBC.
In this, his last year in office, President Clinton is planning several overseas trips, but none more controversial than the one set for later this month. It begins in Bangladesh, March 20th, and continues with an official state visit to India the 21st through the 25th. Then, the really controversial stop, Pakistan, a country barely under control since a military coup last year. A country with ties to one of America's most dangerous enemies. NBC's Jim Miklashevsky joins me now with some serious questions about presidential security on this trip. Jim?
Tom, tonight, U.S. officials tell NBC News they've already received a number of terrorist threats tied to President Clinton's trip to Pakistan. The Secret Service considers Pakistan so dangerous, it's warned the president not to go. Protecting the president overseas can be a heart-stopping challenge. U.S. officials claim in Pakistan it will be an absolute nightmare. Pakistan has long been a hotbed of terrorism with a large number of Islamic fundamentalists, seething with hatred for the U.S. Worse yet, many are closely linked to the terrorist Osama bin Laden, America's arch-enemy in hiding right next door in Afghanistan. In fact, U.S. officials believe Pakistan's own intelligence service actually has ties to bin Laden. Their worst fear is that U.S. Secret Service plans for President Clinton's security could go straight to bin Laden himself. Terrorist groups in Pakistan are heavily armed with sophisticated weapons, some with U.S.-made Stinger missiles that officials feared could be used to try to shoot down Air Force One. The president's plane has electronic countermeasures to defend itself in flight, but it could be an easy target on the ground for long-range rockets that can hit targets 20 miles away.
It's just impossible, given the number of people that are out there who really don't like us and the availability of rockets that can go that far.
While they won't discuss the details, the Secret Service is taking extraordinary steps to protect the president in Pakistan. U.S. military special forces will also be on standby just in case. But the fear is if the terrorists cannot get at the president, they may strike out at other American targets, including those traveling with President Clinton.
Every time a senior American official has visited Pakistan in recent years, Americans have died.
Now, U.S. officials say that combating terrorism will be high on the president's agenda in Pakistan, and sincerely hope that's as close to the issue as anyone gets on this trip. Tom?
Thank you very much, NBC's Jim Miklaszewski tonight. Now let's go to Mozambique, where the rains finally have stopped for a time at least, allowing rescue workers to get back to work. It's estimated that 250,000 people have been forced out of their homes. As NBC's Dr. Bob Arnott reports, the lucky ones have found shelter and a helping hand.
She's not a doctor or a nurse. She doesn't bring medicine or clothing. What Kathy Preston does bring to these refugees is something else they desperately need.
What are you doing for these children?
Just loving them. They're so hungry for anything. It's just such an honor to be able to give to them. It breaks my heart.
A 49-year-old mother of 2 grown children and former flight attendant from Charlotte, North Carolina. Kathy just recently started working as a missionary here in Mozambique. She brings these children the simplest of things.
We just do different activities. I polish the girls' nails, some kind of treats that they never get.
It's not just the dirt and filth here, nor the loss of their homes that worries these refugees most. It's the threat of malaria and cholera. The crowding here makes this a perfect breeding ground for epidemic disease.
Carolina Fernandez.
Just 15 minutes away at a hospital, a nurse reads the names and conditions of the sick to anxious relatives. One sign says, no visitors. The other, cholera. Officials say there are dozens of cholera patients here, but no epidemic yet. And they are doing everything they can to prevent one, including complete isolation. The flooding has also broken hundreds of hearts back here at the factory.
What breaks your heart about it?
They're so different than our children. They love and they appreciate the little bit that they get. They're very loving. They're very giving. They fight over a finger on your hand just to be able to hold a finger.
It's a small gesture making a big difference for the littlest victims. Dr. Bob Arnott, NBC News, Maputo, Mozambique.
I'll be right back.
Man, I'm hungry.
What, $1 for a sliver of raw fish?
It's sushi. Sushi? Where I'm from, we call that stuff bait.
What else can you get for just $1?
Well, I can get a 20-minute phone call for only 99 cents.
Quit kidding around.
No, it's true. Dial 10-10-220. It's just 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
And just 7 cents a minute after that.
And get this, there's no monthly fee.
10-10-220 really is a great deal.
We know. Hey, you forgot to cut this.
Dial 10-10-220. Wind tunnel by Hoover picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright. And you can get one that's self-propelled.
Is there more than H2O in your drinking water? Find out at purewater.com. Pure water filters. Pure water made easy.
You know when it's time to focus on heart health. You're even taking vitamin E. But Centrum knows there's more to it. There's selenium, garlic, and CoQ10. Now, getting all this is as easy as Centrum. New Centrum-focused formulas. Each a blend of nutrients more completely focused on one health concern. You know when to focus on your bones. You know you need calcium. But zinc, D, and magnesium may help too. Getting all this is as easy as new Centrum-focused formulas. Focused on specific health needs.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, we're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends March 11th.
Starting to feel a little cramped by your present surroundings?
RE/MAX can help you find a new home while selling your current one to someone who'll find it absolutely perfect. Look for RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate.
Is it because I'm getting older? All those antacid tablets I was taking. I wanted to take a liquid for this heartburn, but I just couldn't get past the taste. It was so frustrating. But my doctor knew the answer. My doctor said Mylanta. The Mylanta Supreme I found so soothing and smooth, with none of the chalkiness and grit, but it's strong relief. Mylanta Supreme soothed away my heartburn. I love feeling the sensation. My doctor said Mylanta.
Now, for the first time anywhere, it's the very best of Don Imus. Imus in the evening. Tomorrow on MSNBC.
Beauty and the Beasts, two of nature's greatest enemies, and one man's story of surviving a shark attack. Explore this weekend on CNBC.
In the past couple of years, what with the turn of the century and reflections on the big events of the last 100 years, World War II has gotten a lot of attention. That, in turn, has generated some unusual and touching reunions. None more touching than the one involving an Indiana woman from that era. Almost as quickly as Daphne Cavan fell in love with her sweetheart, Raymond, he was killed fighting for his country.
Although I didn't have riches, I had love.
September 1944, a sniper's bullet in southern France. A short time later, a telegram arrived in Lebanon, Indiana.
The door opened, I looked up, and I knew immediately.
Decades later, she rediscovers a scrapbook, her keepsake of Raymond. In it, a story of love and war, even things he carried on the battlefield to remember her.
The lock of my hair, that's the color it was then.
Still, she felt as if a page was missing from her scrapbook.
For years, I thought if I just could talk to someone that knew him over there, just to see if he was happy.
A.C. Clark served with Raymond and saw him die.
I remember standing there beside Raymond and thinking and looking at him and thinking, well, what could I do for his family?
After the war, A.C. became a successful farmer and raised a family.
When I got home, I began to say to myself, this was a good war movie, and you need to forget it.
Recently, he picked up a book of stories about World War II.
So help me, as I opened it up, it fell open to Raymond's picture.
When we heard his story, we brought his pal's widow to meet him.
I'm A.C. Clark.
Well, hello. My
Mighty
goodness,
good to see you.
years.
Yeah,
The day was filled with Southern hospitality.
Our kind and merciful Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for days like this.
And then a chance to fill in the blanks.
It's really been overwhelming and wonderful. Before I leave this world, that I could find out.
Answers to those lingering questions. Guided by A.C.'s memory and the memory of Raymond, Daphne's scrapbook came alive.
I think that was his last picture.
Well, that's kind of more like I remember him, I
And
guess.
he's handsome. He's a handsome guy.
A.C. told Daphne her husband was a good man, always happy, always speaking of her. He even remembered the lock of hair.
He had that in his testament at one time.
This is completing things for me. I've known peace that I didn't realize I had.
I felt like Raymond was up there smiling down, saying, I knew this would happen sometime.
That's Nightly News for Friday. I'm Tom Brokaw, and I'll see you back here again Monday night.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Authorities say these three dogs attacked a man in a southeast Portland park. Witnesses rushed to help. Then the victim suffers a heart attack.
Yeah, he was blue, and I couldn't find a pulse, and
It is our top story. Good evening.